For decades, sugar has been a staple of the modern diet, but its impact on health has been the subject of intense debate. In recent years, evidence has emerged suggesting that the sugar industry deliberately manipulated scientific research to downplay the health risks of sugar and shift the blame for heart disease onto fat. This is the story of the sugar industry cover-up, a tale of corporate greed, scientific manipulation, and the devastating consequences for public health. The origins of the conspiracy. In the 1950s and 1960s, heart disease was becoming a leading cause of death in the United States. Scientists were beginning to explore the role of diet in heart health, with some pointing to sugar as a potential culprit. However, the sugar industry had other plans. The Sugar Research Foundation, SRF. In 1943, the sugar industry established the Sugar Research Foundation, SRF, later renamed the Sugar Association, to promote the consumption of sugar and fund scientific research. The SRF's goal was to ensure that sugar remained a central part of the American diet, even as concerns about its health effects grew. The 1967 Harvard study. The most damning evidence of the sugar industry's manipulation comes from a 1967 study published in the New England Journal of Medicine. The study, funded by the SRF, concluded that the primary dietary risk factor for heart disease was fat, not sugar. It recommended reducing fat intake while downplaying the role of sugar. Key points: the study was authored by prominent Harvard researchers, but it was later revealed that the SRF had paid them to produce results favorable to the sugar industry. Evidence: internal documents uncovered in 2016 showed that the SRF had hand-picked the studies to be included in the review and had influenced the conclusions. Impact: the study shaped dietary guidelines for decades, leading to the promotion of low-fat, high-sugar diets. The shift to low-fat diets. The 1967 study had a profound impact on public health policy. In the 1970s and 1980s, dietary guidelines began to emphasize reducing fat intake while largely ignoring the risks of sugar. This led to the proliferation of low-fat, high-sugar products, which were marketed as healthy alternatives. Key points: the food industry capitalized on the low-fat trend by replacing fat with sugar in many products. Consequences: rates of obesity, diabetes, and heart disease continued to rise, as people consumed more sugar than ever before. The role of Big Sugar. The sugar industry's influence extended beyond the 1967 study. Over the years, the industry has funded numerous studies and organizations to promote the benefits of sugar and downplay its risks. Key points: the industry has been accused of using tactics similar to those of the tobacco industry, including funding biased research, lobbying policymakers, and discrediting critics. Evidence: internal documents have revealed that the sugar industry knew about the health risks of sugar as early as the 1950s but chose to suppress this information. The uncovering of the cover-up. The sugar industry's manipulation began to come to light in the 21st century, thanks to the work of investigative journalists and researchers. In 2016, a study published in JAMA Internal Medicine revealed the extent of the industry's influence on the 1967 Harvard study. Key points: the study's authors analyzed internal documents from the SRF and found clear evidence of manipulation. Impact: the revelation sparked outrage and led to calls for greater transparency in scientific research and public health policy. The legacy of the cover-up. The sugar industry cover-up has had lasting consequences for public health. The promotion of low-fat, high-sugar diets contributed to the obesity epidemic and the rise of chronic diseases such as diabetes and heart disease. It also eroded trust in scientific research and public health institutions. Please remember to like, share and subscribe for more. Stay informed.